it's a 6-inch chipper. Okay, so anything that it's going to feed in, it's going to chip. Okay, so generally I'm just going to talk about the chipper for a minute, and then we're going to talk about some safety stuff and all that. Okay. All right, so in here is your cutter wheel. Okay, you see these 2 bolts here?
Yeah.
Okay, those 2 bolts have to come out, then this folds back, and 3 pins, pull this pin out and fold back. That's the way you're going to look at your knives.
Oh, see if they're dull or damaged or whatever.
So this wheel is a disc sitting in there like this with 2 blades on it. Okay? The engine is turning a pulley down here to a belt that's pulling the feed wheel. Okay? All right, the cutter wheel. All right? You got a gasoline motor. Okay? You have a battery. You have a hydraulic tank. Okay? Hydraulic filter. All right? With this engine, this basically is your ignition, little short key. Okay? We're going to turn the engine on, and when we start this engine, okay, and we throttle up with this, this is going to engage your clutch. Okay, so the only thing,
as the RPMs go up, it engages.
And you're going to do that slowly, as I will demonstrate when I do it. But when we start it, we're going to throttle up right here. That is going to start everything turning. Okay. All right. The only thing that you have to do on this engine here is basically check the oil in it, right? Okay. I don't know who's going to do your all service.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'll be in house.
In-house?
Yes.
Okay, so what I suggest to you on your air filter is that you don't do it in the field. You let the mechanic or whoever is going to service this do the air filters. Okay? Because they fit a certain way.
Yes.
Okay? And lock in.
So can I let the guys know what in Spanish what you just explained?
Sure.
Okay. So básicamente esta cosa da vuelta. Lo que muele está aquí adentro y son 2 blades y esto da vuelta con una banda y esta es una pulea. Este es el motor de gasolina y se controla con la llave, y dice que cuando le vamos a subir la velocidad de la gasolina, que el clutch se automáticamente se hace engage. Okay. Y aparte de eso, pues ahorita les va a decir lo demás. Okay? Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so you have your battery here, back again, hydraulic tank. The bearing that's on this side here, and there's also one on the other side. Okay? No, I'm sorry, the motor's over here. This is the main bearing, and all this is going to do is the feed roller. We're going to look inside and I want to show you. That's operating the feed roller. That feed roller is going to come up and down right here. That's why the springs are here. Okay? If you happen to get jammed up, okay, you're going to release these springs and pull this up. Okay, to get inside to where that is.
That's how you have access.
Access to this point, right? This here is going to open up your
you
blade.
can open up there and see if you can.
Okay.
So, ¿entendieron esto? Esta es la batería, este es el tanque hidráulico, el filtro. Aquí es un bearing que levanta una puerta cuando estamos metiendo. Si el caso se iba a atorar, aquí podemos acceso adentro. Okay.
Once we're up and running, when the engine is running and when the clutch is engaged, okay, when the amber light here is blinking, means that feed roller is not turning. Okay? If it is not blinking, it's turning. Okay? When it can become stopped by either the bar, okay, or the knee safety bar here, feed roller is going to stop. Not going to kill the engine, only the feed roller is going to stop, right?
Or it can be stopped by being jammed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
can.
Okay.
It can.
Okay. Okay.
More
Este-
likely not, but it can.
Okay. Ese foco que miran aquí, cuando está flasheando, es que eso está parado, no está circulando. Y la manera de que para es con esto, or maybe, pero no es 1% alto que se atore. Pero es más que eso o eso lo va a parar. Okay, go ahead.
El motor se va a quedar prendido, pero la madera se va a apagar.
Yeah,
Se va a
pero
apagar.
eso no va a estar dando vuelta, el motor solamente.
Okay. You see the green button on that side? Green button. You have a green button over here too, so it can be operated off both sides. When the feed roller stops, you're going to push that green button. It's going to start again.
Okay.
So that's how you restart the feed roller.
Yes, okay, I understand. So ese botón verde es para, tiene en dos lados. Si eso estuviera apagado, esa es la manera de prenderlo otra vez. Okay, con el botoncito verde.
Sí,
Okay.
si lo apagan
Si se apaga con eso,
se lo para-
se
para
prende
comenzarlo
otra
otra
vez con eso. Okay.
Okay. All right. 4 positions. Okay. You got reverse. Reverse is the feed roller to reverse it.
Okay.
If a piece of wood goes in, it's kind of wanting to do this, right? It's trying to grab it, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. You can put it in reverse, back it
Reverse
back
it,
out,
get it back out.
get another grip.
Ese es reversa. Si se atora un tronco o algo, si se pueden aplastar así para que se regresen el tronco.
Okay. Then you have the stop position. That's going to stop the feed roller.
Es alto. Son 4 posiciones.
Okay. Then you have your forward position. Okay. That's going to be everything in gear the normal way.
And that's going forward.
And then now, if I come up here for some reason, I stumble, whatever, pull that, it's going to stop the feed roller.
Okay.
Safety.
Si en caso se llegan y se van a caer o algo, inmediatamente te puede agarrar de eso y ya para todo.
Okay.
Ese es para la rodilla.
You don't want to work from the back, right? You're going to see when I feed this, okay? You're going to see the way that I feed this chipper, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to come in to the side and feed the chipper and let it chip, okay? So my motion is going to be, I'm going to pick up a branch, bring it up here, push it till it grabs it, and walk away.
Él no le va a dar así de atrás. Tienes que hacerlo de lado, ¿ok? Más safety.
If it gets hung up, the second guy is going to come in and use his branch to push it in.
Ok.
Okay.
Si tú estás empujando y se atora, el palo viene con la segunda branch y él la avienta para empujar la tuya. ¿Ok?
Okay, all right. So, on safety, if the brush hanging down, or if I happen to hit this, it's going to stop the feed roller. Amber light is going to blink.
Si en caso lo tientas o un branch lo roza y lo para, va a parar. So, es para el safety. Si vas a ver la luz que va a prender.
Okay. So if I stumble, it'll stop the
Se
feed
para.
roller. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to close this for a minute. So this is the way that it's transported from here
To wherever.
to the shop or whatever, right? Okay. So I never ever start my chipper with this closed.
Ok. Nunca prendan el chipper con eso cerrado.
Because I don't know what Jose put in there last night.
Ah, ok. Nunca sabes lo que uno puso la noche antes ahí adentro, so no es bueno prenderlo sin saber qué está ahí adentro.
So I always, before I start, it's clear,
Ya, para que esté
right?
limpio.
Okay?
Alright.
Okay? Any questions about this part?
No, actually you pretty good
Okay.
details.
So when I pull up, the reason I'm pulling up where I am is I'm looking at my surroundings, right? I'm looking to see how am I going to discharge? Where am I going to
Yes.
discharge this,
Yes,
right?
Yes, yes.
So, do I want to turn this over here?
Yeah. That's what you gotta look at when you first get here.
When I'm setting up, that's why I turned around, right?
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Because I don't want to discharge on. This is my work area.
Yeah,
I start.
yeah.
I don't want to shoot over me.
Yeah,
Right?
yes. You
Okay.
want it that way or away from the
Curbside.
Okay.
Okay, we call that the curbside. You know?
Okay,
That's the
curbside.
side we're going to be chipping.
Okay.
So,
Nunca para este lado. Esa cosa nunca debe de estar para este lado, debe de estar para allá al lado de la curva. Esa le llaman la curbside, porque eso va a dejar donde va a ir el material.
okay.
Yep.
There's nothing on this side that you got to work with
Okay.
on this side of the chipper
Yeah.
while you're chipping.
It's all this side or the back.
Everything is
No hay
on
nada
that side.
importante por ese lado.
Yeah,
porque
nada
todo eso
pusieron
es
importante por ese lado para que no estuviéramos en el camino del material. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, and one other reason we do this, and you guys may not have to deal with this that much, but you may be inside somewhere too where you're doing something in the parking lot or something. Because I always want to be aware. People like to look at this
Oh yeah.
when it's working,
Definitely, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And they'll walk right underneath that thing.
Yeah. So we gotta have like a coned off area or
mejor.
be better,
Yeah.
huh? Okay.
Could be better. And be aware who's around you.
Yes.
You know, because people like
Is
to
there
look.
high traffic? Is there, okay,
They
cool.
like to look.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. Que
And
then,
you'll see when we chip this broadcasts very fast and very hard.
ese que mucha gente cuando ve esta máquina les interesa y los atracta a que vean, a ver.
Bien metiches.
Bien metiches. Y lo que tenemos que hacer es estar seguro de lo que es alrededor de nosotros para evitar que esa gente vengan y los estorben o se pongan ellos en peligro. ¿Ok?
Se tira
Si
muy
hay uno
rápido y muy
como
duro.
tú, si estás dándole y el Pablo mira a alguien que viene cerca, puede ir él a decirles, hey, there's cones right here y stay back. So, que estemos muy aware de lo que estamos haciendo.
Okay. So the other thing is I don't want to see any rope.
Yeah,
Around here.
no alambres, no
Tie, no
piolas,
twine, no wire, no rope.
nothing de esa manera.
Because anything that snags on here,
Lo
as
jala
you
por-
pull it up, is going to pull it in.
Ajá.
Okay.
So, can I say, for example,
Sure.
esto, tenemos que hacer algo con él, ¿verdad? This is something that can easily get caught in the branches that go in there. So, eso tenemos que tener mucho cuidado. Okay?
Main thing is for your safety. Because if that rope tangles around you or anything, it's going to pull it in.
Es safety para nosotros, puede ser viola, puede jalar a nosotros.
También lo que están de alambre, sí. Ahorita vi una cadena para una bicicleta ahorita, cuidado.
Yeah. So, lo que está en el ground
Sí,
puede levantar
chequea
la
lo que está en el
branch.
piso.
So,
Chequea
tenemos
lo que está en el
estar
piso,
seguros.
dale uno y también con los troncos también. A veces gente lo pone el rebar o algo así, material y,
Rebar o un alambre o algo.
sí, y
Ok.
puede explotar y
Yeah. So, cuando lo vayamos a bajar del trailer es cuando lo estamos revisando que esté bien. Okay. All right.
Okay? Tools. Okay? If you're going to use something to push, if you got a lot of this stuff, a lot,
That pitchfork
with leaves, you know,
Yeah.
no metal.
No metal.
Now, you're going to do what you're going to do. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we're suggesting no metal.
Yes.
If you're going to use one, use plastic ones. If
Yes.
it goes in, it's not going
It's
to
gonna
hurt.
chew it up. It's not gonna.
Or a 2x4.
Or chew Oh
something
yeah.
wood.
Eso bueno. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay? Something that you can push with without.
Algo que
Any
podamos empujar un chuba por nada de fierro como horquilla ni nada de eso.
sabemos que van a hacer lo que van a hacer, pero mejor que usen plástico o algo así también, otro
Yeah.
tronco o
La mayoría de la gente usa fierro, pero it's not safe. It's not safe. Okay.
Okay? Okay. You can come on around. Here is the maintenance for the greasing.
Okay.
Okay? So
Eso es donde todos los puntos donde se grasa, pero el mecánico se va a preocupar de eso. Pero ese es sin caso nosotros necesitamos hacer.
Research. Here. Here. On that wheel. The two bearings.
Very important.
Very important. Every day.
Okay, todos los días
Okay.
grasarlo. Okay.
Either when you finish at night
Or
or first thing in the morning.
Okay.
But you grease this one, this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are the most important.
Most important. And that one other bearing I told you
That's
about
on the
over
other
there.
side. I seen that grease, sir.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Y el
So
bearing
just where your
del otro
bearings
lado.
are.
So esos tres diariamente hay que ponerle grasa.
Okay. Gas tank. Fuel tank. Okay. This here. Are you guys going to do your own blades? Flipping them and changing them?
Probably in-house, done. Or maybe they might get sent out. Who knows?
Yeah, what's our options?
Well, your option, of course, is bring it to us. We will flip the blades for you or replace the blades if that's what you want done. The main thing I want to talk about here, if you're going to do your own blades, okay?
Okay.
As I explained on this cutter wheel, there's two knives attached. They are flippable blades. When one side gets dull, you can flip them around, use the other side, okay? This tool here is a measuring device for the bed knife. See these two bolts? There's two bolts on the bottom too. You got two bed knives inside here, okay? So when that wheel comes around, this bed knife, when your wheel comes around, that's how it is chipping the wood, right?
Yes.
Against the bed knife, right?
Yes.
So those bed knives also need to be adjusted or flipped when the time comes, okay? They're not a sharp edge, they're a blunt square edge.
Yeah.
Okay? So when your blades get dull, you're going to start beating the wood instead of chipping it.
Can you feel that as it's going through the machine?
No.
Can you feel the
You can
dullness?
look at your chip pile.
Oh.
And I'm going to show you when we chip, I'm going to show you what it should look like.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Cool.
But when they do get dull, and you decide you are going to flip them, this is the important part. When you take that knife off to flip that, you need to make sure when you put that back, before you put it back together, that it is steel to steel. Steel on the wheel and steel on the back of your blade there.
Okay. I see.
There's no debris.
Okay.
Okay? And the bolts, the nuts, this is bolted with two nuts. Those nuts have to be torqued to a certain torque.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay? In your manual, in your operator's manual over here on the side, it's going to have a page there that tells you about that. And it's going to tell you the proper torquing. And I'm going to try to remember it's 180 for the first nut and 60 for the other, I believe.
Okay.
But don't believe me.
Okay.
Okay? That's the best of my memory.
You're 99.9% sure.
Refer to the owner's manual for proper torquing instructions.
Yep.
But
Okay.
it's very important that you do that.
Okay.
Because if one of those bolts come loose, starts to work loose, you're not going to know that
Oh, yeah.
until it comes out and hits that bed knife.
Okay.
And then you got a disaster.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So very, very important if you're going to do your own blades.
Okay. All right.
Also, if you're going to sharpen your blades instead of buy new ones, okay? Because they can be sharpened. We sharpen them here at our shop. It's a 2-week turnaround.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for your bolts, everything else. When you do that, we only want you to use the bolts twice, though.
And then you got to purchase new bolts? Or?
We'd like you to, yes.
Okay. All right.
The bolts are designed, when you torque a bolt, you actually stretch a bolt.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
So there's a weakness once the first use has already been.
You can do it twice because you're going to flip it with the same bolts, right?
Yeah, but after
that,
third or fourth, or
we're going to ask you to change the bolts.
Okay.
Okay? So when you're sharpening them, what's going to happen when you sharpen them? They get smaller, right?
Yeah.
So now, this thickness here is about 1/8 of an inch. Remember I told you it's coming down like this,
Yeah.
right? That's only 1/8 of an inch there.
Yeah.
So if my blade gets shorter, my gap gets bigger.
Yeah,
Right?
I see.
That's
That's
when
where that comes
That's
in.
when I have to adjust my bed knife
Okay.
to be back to this gauge.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Right?
Yep.
The bed knife also can be flipped 4 times. It's got 4 edges on it.
Oh, okay.
So
like
once
a block.
it's wore out
Yeah,
on
okay.
that one side,
Yeah,
you
then
can flip that.
Flip it.
And then you can turn it over.
Okay.
The thing you don't want to do is let your bed knives go until they get so bad you can't flip them upside down.
I see.
Because they'll get all rounded out.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. And your other option, like I said, is to bring it to us. We will do it for you.
Okay.
You still have to buy the blades from us anyways.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay us an hour or whatever
to put them
shop
in, to
time
install.
to do it.
That's the best thing
Okay.
I would do. Yeah. Okay.
All right? All right. I think I pretty much covered most everything.
How many hours do you get out of a gas tank? More or less. No? Okay. How many gallons?
No more than you're going to chip, like that basket full, you know, that wagon full there.
Yeah.
You'll probably go all week maybe if you're only chipping.
Yeah. I'm figuring gas is gonna probably be good because we're not gonna be hitting it all day hard. You know.
No. It's usually going to chip for 15 minutes or something.
There you go. Okay.
You know.
All right.
Okay. All right. We mark our pressure here.
Okay.
The filters are all marked.
Uh-huh.
Okay. For the next service due.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. All right. All right. Any questions?
No. ¿Tienes preguntas? Preguntas, Pablo.
I don't think I showed this to you, but here's your dipstick for checking the oil.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
Okay.
Where is it at?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Ese es para el aceite, chequear el aceite del motor.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we're ready to chip.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he says they require special gloves, tear-off gloves, and tear-off vest.
We want you to use those, not them,
Estos son más buenos que estos.
because if it gets hammered
Yeah, because
in the branches.
yeah, I could.
There again, you're going to do what your safety with review or whatever is going to
Yes, yes.
be. Your protocol there.
Lo que les
We
diga.
want you to wear a face shield,
Uh-huh.
okay, or safety goggles.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
You know, we
All right.
chip. The operations manual is in here and it's tied in here. Okay.
Okay,
So
all
it
right.
shouldn't disappear.
Gotcha.
I'm also going to be given a whole nother set of books.
Uh-huh.
It's going to have a duplicate of one of these in it, plus a
Okay.
parts manual, plus a maintenance manual.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
There's also a video inside this binder I'm going to give you guys.
Uh-huh.
I strongly encourage you, if you have your safety meetings or whatever, if you
To
can,
watch it?
It's great.
We can do that, Dan, over at your place. Okay.
It's going to cover a little bit of what I did, and they're this is coming from
Pretty
Vermeer.
informative, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
So is there a choke on it or anything that we need to know about to get started? And that's good.
Well, fuel injection now and everything. So
Okay. No choke ni nada, nomás se prende.
just let it run for a few minutes, you know.
Y eso es muy importante, el acelerador. gotta
today
make sure you
do that because when you start it up, it's going to fling.
Okay, yeah.
So if somebody
If it's
starts
not-
up when they're not supposed to and there's something in the way, it's going to fling
Okay.
stuff out there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. One other thing I didn't talk about. You're barely probably ever going to use it. Okay? Is this switch right here. All that switch means, if I put that switch up and it's spring load, right?
Yeah.
So when I have everything running, all it's doing is desensitizing this bar. All it means, if I have to push it a ½ inch and it shuts it off normally, I push that button and I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch. What it's for is if you've got a lot of foliage, heavy
And it's
foliage,
hitting it.
and it's hitting this as you feed it, it's kind of messing with you.
Yeah.
You can flip the switch,
It will allow
make
you a
it
little
not
more
as
play.
sensitive.
It'll allow a little bit more play time. Okay, cool.
Right.
All right. Okay. So
It's
este
always-
switch nunca casi lo vamos a usar, pero lo que pasa que mira, si te notas, es uno que se brinca para atrás. Este nomás lo haces así y se brinca para el medio. Es para esto, con una media pulgada se para, pero esto te da como 3/4 más, porque si hay mucho debris pegándole, se va a estar constantemente pagándose. So, si eso pasa, podemos prestar esto y esto evita de que todavía lo para, pero te va a dar un poquito más campo de que le pueda pegar el material. Es todo. Okay.
With that, it's always going to default back to standard.
Yes, I see what
Okay.
you mean.
So once you push the button, you have that extra sensitivity, less sensitivity. Then it's going to go back to standard
What, like in how long?
when it stops.
Or once you stop it and then it starts, it'll go back to its set.
Porque el botón ese, porque se pone para atrás, cuando lo paras y paras la máquina o pusas el de arriba para pararlo, se va a poner para atrás. Automáticamente se va a poner para atrás. O cuando lo prenden otra vez, se va a poner ahorita, se va a poner
Como
para
está
atrás,
ahorita.
como estaba antes.
Ajá.
Necesitas apucharlo otra vez para quitar la sensitividad de la manera.
So this is what I want to see. I want to see a cut edge on both sides. This is a good one.
Oh, ok.
Okay.
Ves que esté cortado en los dos lados. ¿Ves esto? Sí. Eso es lo que quiere ver, que esté cortado por los dos lados. On each side here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it dulls, it shreds it.
It'll start beating it, and it'll start,
Oh,
it'll start stringing.
cuando no
Lot of
está
blistering, lot of splintering.
filoso, estos, lo que pasa que los plasta como si fuera un marro, no los corta, los va nomás destruyendo y no vas a ver este corte fino, vas a ver que está nomás más como, como algo que no era filoso. Okay.
Okay. And you can feel that this is very moist. Pick it up.
Yeah.
You could, but anyways, it's very moist. So I'm assuming you guys are going to be doing a lot of green.
Yeah,
Okay.
mucho verde. Ajá.
So
Nada casi
your
seco.
dry stuff is going to chip a little bit different because it wants to break it.
Ya. Lo seco, eso sí lo va a quebrar y no se va a cortar como. Pero
tan
esto
fino.
verde que tiene humedad se debe de cortar fino.
So the other thing too is the way I think you guys are going to work. It's going to be great because you're putting it into a trailer, I guess, or
Yeah.
or you're going to be chipping along the line. But you want to keep your dirt out of here. Okay,
No-
out of these
no
limbs.
No tierra.
That's just going to dull your blades quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, and like an old trash pile, or no root balls.
Ya nada de la raíz que tenga, la tierra, porque esa tierra le puede causar esto que es el filo, que le quite los filos.
It's just better if you throw those away or whatever.
Tíralo.
Córtalo, tíralo, mejor para la máquina.
Okay.
The first log that we put in was probably 3 inches or so.
Yeah.
So that you've seen how it handled it. It's going to without the engine pulling down.
Ya, ajá, ese
Ok.
lo jala, es lo que hace. Si no soporta todo, va a parar y luego va a seguir, lo va a parar y va a seguir la máquina.
Para que
No
no
se la va a
andas-
moler toda, no la va a agarrar toda. Es para que no se tape y no agarre de más material el chipper.
para que no andas ahí
Destapando.
destapando solo.
Destapando.
Es manual, nomás necesitas saber ponlo, dejarlo. Si la
Yeah.
máquina lo puede cortar, lo va a cortar y va a seguir hasta que ya no está.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions about it?
No, actually, it's pretty informative.
So that's what it should look like.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And Dan, this is gonna stay here, and then I could connect it to my truck when we need to move it.
Yeah.
As we go. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, it stays here. It's going to stay in this
This
location.
section. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's it.